The Biden admin thinks it has a First Amendment right to censor your free speech. That's right. You heard that correctly. You heard that correctly. They want to, they said it is their free speech to censor your free speech. The most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I mean, this is one of the most corrupt, no, not even. This is the most corrupt government we've ever had in our lifetime. They try to take away all of our rights and they say it's to protect you. This is crazy. This is nonsense. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news here. Imagine a scenario in which a future Republican administration forces Twitter to restrict the Black Lives Matter hashtag or compels Facebook to develop an algorithm that stifles progressive political content while promoting conservative speech. This would be based on government-defined misinformation. You might naturally assume this violates the First Amendment, but a federal court in California would disagree. According to recent cases in the Northern District of California, high-ranking government officials can pressure social media companies to censor unwanted speech. This is totally against the First Amendment. I mean, I don't understand how they can pretend it's not. But they can even instruct social media employees on what speech to censor and receive favorable reports for them, as if these employees were their subordinates. Shockingly, there seems to be little recourse for citizens. The Ninth Circuit, we call it the Nutty Ninth, the Ninth Circuit, the appeals court overseeing the Northern District of California, holds that you cannot file a lawsuit to stop government from influencing or coercing social media companies into censoring your speech unless you can demonstrate that your speech was specifically targeted. This is ridiculous. These lefties over there on the West Coast is crazy. But again, if this was against Black Lives Matter or something like that, they will be in an uproar. But because they're censoring conservatives, they think it's okay. I mean, this is just crazy. But what if social media companies employ algorithms to identify and censor content? Regrettably, this is insufficient. These courts argue that your speech wasn't, quote, specifically targeted, so you can have no case. Even if entire viewpoints are censored, you still can't file a case since the government didn't explicitly instruct the platform to censor you. These courts fail to acknowledge that modern technology has significantly transformed censorship, flipping the Biden administration interpretation of the First Amendment on its head. Missouri, Louisiana, and several individuals sued the Biden administration over this matter, avoiding California courts by suing only the Biden administration, even though social media companies are also complicit in the censorship effort. On July 4th, they obtained an injunction prohibiting President Biden and his agencies from collaborating with social media companies to censor Americans. Now, the Biden administration is arguing to the Supreme Court that this injunction, which protects Americans' free speech rights, somehow infringe on the government's First Amendment rights. So, yes, you heard that correctly. This administration is pressuring social media companies to censor you and believes it violates the administration's First Amendment rights if you attempt to stop them. I mean, this is nonsense. The Biden administration has things completely reversed. The government should not have the authority to dictate to social media companies censorship, and the First Amendment is in the place to prevent such schemes. We should all hope that the courts recognize the significance of the case before them for future of free speech under the First Amendment and put an end to the administration's censorship effort. Like I said, this is just nonsense. I can't believe they're getting away with this, but what you expect from the West Coast Nutty Ninth, that's what we call the Ninth District. They always come out with crazy stuff like this that's totally antithetical to our constitutional rights. But you need people. More people need to speak out against this and speak up and stop the Biden administration from censoring. The leftists don't understand. Well, I think they're seeing it a little bit now with this whole Israel thing, but they don't really understand. Like they're coming for you next. Just like with the Israel thing, they're trying to stop people that's pro-Palestinians from speaking out against Israel, and they're trying to stop them from speaking truth. So I think they're starting to realize a little bit of that now with this whole Israel-Palestine thing. Because now, if you're against killing children, if you're against what Israel is doing to the innocent people, we're not talking about Hamas, but we're talking about the innocent people over there. You get lopped in with the terrorists, and they call you a Hamas sympathizer and all these other things. So I think they're starting to see a little bit of it now, but will it be enough to change what's going on with censorship? Let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.